is it going, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. After all that hard work and everything doing the detailing video, look, fixing to rain again. Nothing we can do about that though. Whatever the big man wants, right? Mr. Cooper here, he don't care. He just wants to sit there and relax, don't you, buddy? Good boy, Cooper. But what I want to talk to you about real quick is I made the detailing video taking out the halos and the Griot's garage and all that, and it ended up being over an hour long, and nobody, including myself, wants to hear me yap for over an hour. That I should take the video and split it up and make it into two. So that's what I did. I took the first part, which is mainly getting the halos and stuff out to prep for it, and the actual removing into the halos, and I'll put that video up there. And this particular video will be about the Griot's Garage Liquid Best of Show Wax. More about it and everything, how to put it on, how easy it is to take it off and everything. I was going to put it on with the machine just to get it done quicker. My random action orbital or dual action orbital, whatever you want to call it. But just watch the traffic go by, birds and whatnot coming up before the storm. But I was going to do it that way, but my videos I like to kind of show how the average person has to do it. Like, I got some stuff I'm planning on doing with my car. I'm thinking about taking it to work and putting it on the lift. That way I get really good access for video and everything. But then I'm like, people at home aren't going to have a lift to be able to do this. Even though that's not what it's about. It's about me showing you what you need to do to it. I like to show you what to do, what you need to do to it, just as you would be doing it at home. Yeah, I could get under there and put my lower control arms and all that on the rear end and get really good video, side video. The bolts go here, the bolts go there, look at how it looks and all. But that's not what you're going to be looking at. That's not what you're going to be dealing with. So I'll probably just do them here at the house. But with all that said, that's upcoming videos. And this one again is for the Griot's Garage Liquid Best of Show Wax. I hope you enjoy it. It's a really, really good product. I know that if you get it, you'll love it. It'll last a long time. Like I said in the video, get a good quality spray on wax to go in between. And you can literally take a regular 3 months wax and get a year out of it. You really can. The Tahoe, before I did it with the Dyno wax, and then the Lucas spray mist before I did that, the actual wax that was on that was from last year. The black car, before I did the Dyno wax that I got from Jeremy with Nasty 2SS, him and his wonderful wife Holly, before I got that was from last year, you know. So you can literally get a year or more out of your wax if you do preventative stuff in between. So without further ado, I'd like to say thank you for stopping by for part 2. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Day 2 here. Looking pretty good, isn't it? Well, here's the thing. I haven't even done this side yet, and I'm going to explain something about that in just a second. But as I explained to you yesterday, I was starting off with polish. Meguiar's Ultimate Polish. Let me explain something that a lot of people won't tell you. You should always start with the least aggressive product you can. Work with it and see if it takes out the defects that you're trying to get out. In this case, I'm trying to get out mostly halos. Everything has abrasives in it. And you start with sandpaper. You literally start with sandpaper. It's called wet sanding. That's the most aggressive that you can use. That's used for getting out deep scratches or imperfections that no other way to take out. You wet sand it with a heavier grit, say like a 400 to 800. Then you wet sand it again with a more fine paper. Then you wet sand it again until all the signs of you sanding are gone, but it just looks like a flat finish. Then you hit it with the compound, then you hit it with the polish, then you hit it with the wax. And that is typically the range of products. I mean, there's a myriad of different products in between there, different cuts, different grits, different textures and everything. But I started with the polish. The reason I started with the polish is I knew that it has really, really fine abrasives in it. Not much of anything, but just a little bit. Its main function is to bring back color, the depth of color, okay? Now you see it's red. There's many variations of red, right? There's a, thank you. There's a bright red, there's a shiny red, there's a dull red, there's a myriad of any color that you can imagine. And that's what polish does, it brings back the depth, but I knew that it had ever so slightly abrasives in it. Well, as I got to working, I did the top, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I came back out the next day. This is day 3 actually. I came back out and I gave it a once over, what I already did, and there were still halos there. Now I took my time with the polish and I got out a lot of them, I mean a lot. And what put the halos in there? Short and sweet, my car cover. Anytime you rub anything over a vehicle, a dry towel, a car cover, your butt propped up against the fender, anything like that's going to put halos, swirls, stuff like that in it. But long story short, I gave it once over and there were still halos in there. I don't have any swirls, but I had halos. And they were still in there, so I needed something that cut a little bit more. So I broke out the Ultimate Compound. Then there's another one below this. I think it's the Ultimate Polishing Compound or something like that. But I broke this out, gave it a try, worked really, really well. It worked probably 2 to 3 times better than the polish. But I mean, it's got to be expected. You can put some on your fingers and rub it, you can feel a very, very slight abrasive in there. So it took out 90% of the swirls. Not swirls, I'm sorry. Took out 90% of the halos. And I'm not looking for a perfect finish on this because I'm not going to get it. I'm going to have to get something else a little bit more abrasive than this to get out every imperfection on this car, because there's a couple small scratches. They're not deep enough to where I can run my finger over and feel them, but the polish won't get it out and the compound won't get it out. So I'm going to switch over to something else, either something in their professional line of car care products like a mirror glaze or something like that, or get something like a Griot's Garage correcting cream, or fast correcting cream, something along that line. But this is doing it for now, so I just want to let you know that I had to swap over to this. And then last but not least will be the wax. Like I said, wax has nothing in it to take out any swirls, take out any halos. It does nothing. It may look like it does something, and I'll explain that in a second. But this is what I'm using, Best of Show wax. I've had really, really good luck with this. It goes on real easy, comes off real easy, and it protects, which is what a wax is supposed to do, protect. That's it. Now you have other waxes that are called cleaner waxes, and that'll take off some oxidation, something like that, but it's not going to take out swirls, the scratches, and all that. Now here's the thing you need to understand, and this is what they will not tell you. Hold on for the noise. Sorry about that. If you sit, and it's going to be hard to do it because we're in the shade, I may try to find a sunny spot and do it. But your typical walk up and look at a car, right? Ah, wow, look at that shine, man, wow. Yes, it's shiny. Okay? That's what a wax does. Light hits your eyes at 90 degrees. Light might come in this way, but when it hits the surface, it's going to come straight at the way you're looking at it. That's how light works. So that's why when you'll see at car shows and stuff, you'll see the true car guys, they'll get down and look at it at angles like this. Sure, it's got to shine, but they'll get down and look at it at angles like that, because then the light is not hitting at a true 90 degrees, right? It's coming down more like at a 45, and it's catching all the defects and everything and bringing them in, right? The wax actually enhances the effect of the 90 degree light shine, if you will. And I have not done this side, I have not done the other side. I really can't show you the halos in this lighting. I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find a spot, but it's really hard for it to pick up on camera. But as you can see, I've done the top. I mean, you can look at that top right there, the very top of the car, and there is no defect in that whatsoever. Might be a little lint on it or something, but there is no defect in that whatsoever. I've done the hood. See, no defects. There's one little spot right there I cannot get out. I'm gonna have to use something a little bit more abrasive. But the point is, you could see it. The halo would show up the same way, swirls would show up the same way and everything. Now if you look at it like this, see, it's gone. It's that 90-degree light reflection that I was talking about. But if you get down at a slight angle, boom, there it is. Right there. And that's gonna bug me being a car guy. So, I'm not gonna bore you with having you watch me do the sides and everything. It's the same process I did the top, and then we'll get back with the wax. Now, here's something I'm gonna make you stay tuned to the end of the video for, and I'm sorry for all the bouncing around. I'm trying to get it to where I can show you. Looks new, don't it? It's not. Look at the edge of it. I ran it up under my license plate yesterday, and it cut off some of the foam, but it looks new. So how do I keep them looking new? And here's my old one. I'm gonna have to go buy a new one after this time. See how the edge is all chewed up and everything. But look at the middle of it. It looks brand freaking new. How do I keep them looking like that? You have to stay to the end of the video to find that one out. But I will show you. It's very, very simple. And you'll be like, why didn't I think of that? Now, back to what I was saying and promised. Wax. You have, like I said, you have your sandpapers, you have your compounds, you have your polishes, and you have your waxes. No matter how bad a car looks, and this is a prime example of what I'm fixing to tell you. This car looks super, super glossy. And it is. It is very glossy because of this. The problem with that, and this didn't show up until I used another product. I knew I had a few halos in it from another car show that I went. The light had to hit it just right from the sun. It had to be a certain type of day, you know, for me to see the halos, and I was like, God almighty, that looks ugly. Please don't let anybody look at that. But what wax does, it enhances the light that is refracted back to your eyeballs, right? No matter what angle light comes in, and it always comes in 90 degrees to your eyeball. Well, at certain times of the day, with it being hung low and everything, it doesn't quite make that 90 degrees. It'll go off this way or off that way, you know. It's just, light is very funny, and wax enhances that light refractability, how it reflects off an object. That's what I was saying. That's why guys get down and look, because of the way the light is reflected into your eyes. And a good quality wax will enhance that so much to where you do not see any imperfections. You might have scratches in it, and from 5-10 feet away you'll never see it. And the reason for that is your wax is hiding it. It's still there, you know it's there, but the people walking by at a car show don't know it's there. So it's our responsibility to protect our cars, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get all the halos and stuff out of it so that to show people it looks good. But if you're just looking for some good protection and it's going to last and stay on a while, now this has polish on it, right, compound on it right now, so just disregard it. But right here, up here, you know, you've all seen how shiny this car is. And like I said, all these shines come from, all these halos come from my car cover, because I don't currently have a carport or a garage. I'm going to remedy that, Lord willing, but that's waxes. That's all it does. Protects and enhances the shine, and the way you get the shine is the stuff they put in it magnifies the light of the reflection of the light coming in from the sky. That's all it does. Protects and magnifies the light. So that's why when you look at my car, you don't see the halos and stuff, and I didn't see them for a long time. And that's why we're doing this video, to take care of that and to show you how well this works. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so I told a small fib, and for that I am sorry. But I wanted to change things up to see how many of you are actually watching and paying attention. So my old foam pads, these are the ones I just got done using. You can see they're dirty. This one I'm going to either throw away or save for my lawnmower and stuff like that. Yes, I wax my lawnmower. That's why it still looks like new. But as you can see, this one is wore out, starting to separate, come apart. So I'll buy a new one and save this one for that, or some hand jobs. What? That didn't sound right. But anyhow, applying wax by hand, stuff like that. But here's the tip I want to show you. Let me show you on the small one first. Water A little bit of it's coming out, right? You can see the cream, the white cream looking color. That's coming out pretty good. Got most of it out, right? Here's the big one. Getting some of it out, as you can see. Polishes and compounds don't tend to be that bad. And I'll show you again whenever I wax the car, which I'm fixing to do. But here's the tip. Here's the tip I was referring to. Dawn dishwashing liquid. Remember I did a video and I posted at the top of why you never ever use a dishwashing liquid to wash your car. Because it strips the waxes. Now watch this. Just a little bit. And every time my wife buys a bottle for the dishes, I always rob some. That's why I just don't have a label on it. Then just work it in by hand, right? No magic to it. Just work it in a little bit by hand. Now what? Look at it. And you don't have to worry about squeezing your pads because as you lay them flat, they will retake their shape. So look at that, every bit of it gone. Let me get the little one back up here. Do it too. As you can see, it come out pretty clean. A little bit of Dawn. And no, I'm not sponsored by Dawn or anything like that. I just like showing you guys tips that work. Move it in. Look at how quick that works. Even foam applicator pads. Yeah, Boyd's. He put out some great products. Such a shame he's no longer with us. A little bit of Dawn. Doesn't take much, couple drops. Work it in. And this will even work on dried out old pads too that you just throw them over in the corner. It'll make them look a lot better too. And I've had this one for years. You can tell it's well used. Got one little rip right there. But I don't want to sew it back together because sewing thread that you buy in the store will scratch the devil out of your car. So. But that's all there is to it. I'll show you after I do the wax one too. Now all you got to do is just take them, put them somewhere, let them dry. Dawn dishwashing liquid. Okay, I've gotten her all polished up, or compounded. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Deep color with lots of shine. I've gone over it. Like I said, there's a few halos that are still going to be left in it, along with a few scratches, but the compound that I'm using just is not abrasive enough to remove 100% of the defects. So I'm not going to worry about it. This will be plenty good enough for what I need right now. Look at that shine. And this is at an angle. Like I said, it's not straight on. Look at that freaking shine. The color is popping real deep red like it's supposed to be. And you can really see nothing in that paint job. The whole car is like that. So with all that done, now I'm going to get you back on the tripod. I'm going to wipe it off and then I'm going to show you how the wax works. Okay, the reason that I went back and wiped it, and you should do this each and every time too, before you touch a single panel, always wipe that panel and run over with your hand and make sure there's nothing on it. This right now is slick as a baby's bottom. It really is, or a piece of glass, however you want to look at it. There is nothing on it because I just dusted it. Well, when we polish, when we wax, whenever we do anything to our cars, or even sitting out under the tree, stuff falls on it. It sticks to it. So if we just take our waxing our machine with the wax on it, slam down on there and go to waxing, what do you think is going to happen? Anything that's on that paint is going to get stuck in that paint, and it's going to get it's going to destroy your paint. So always before you do anything, wipe the panel off, rub your bare hand across it, make sure it feels good. If it does, progress from there. Alright. Just took me a little pizza break. Now I gotta get out here and get this done because, as you can see, get you down here, it's getting really cloudy. And my car has no wax on it. Ah! Alright, here we are. Again, I'm using Best of Show wax. This is my go-to wax because I know it's going to shine like nobody's business. It's going to protect like nobody's business. In between waxings, I'll use their spray-on wax. That way I get a longer shelf life out of my in-betweens. I can get 6 to 8 months easily by doing this once, using their spray-on wax in between. So, preventative maintenance, right? But you know how when you go fishing, or you got 10 pairs of shoes and you got that one pair that always just feels right, or you go fishing, no matter how bad the day's been, you can always put that one lure on to catch a fish, or anything along the line. You got one pair of pants that feel just right. You know, this is my one pair of pants that feels right. It has never ever let me down, and every time I use it I get nothing but comments. So as always, shake it up real good. I'm going to show you how easily it goes on and off. Let me get my applicator. I'm going to show you on the mirror because it's easier to see than that, and I'll show you on the trunk too. But all you do is pop the top. They have a tip to where you don't have to screw it on and off every time, which makes it super easy. And then look, there's a little bit of dried wax in there. I always try to pull that out. I mean, it goes on real easy. I'm going to be using the machine to do the whole car because it's quicker, number one. And as I just showed you, we got clouds coming, so it's going to be raining shortly. At least that's the prediction. And I just want to get it done quicker, if that makes any sense. But as you can see, this goes on super easy. There's no buffing involved. You're just putting it on, letting it dry, and taking it off. The wax is doing all the job. Always be sure to get underneath your mirror. You'd be surprised how many times I go to car shows and see that people did not get under their mirror or in their door jambs. Yes, I do inside my door jambs too. This is all there is to putting it on. I'm going to be using a machine polisher to do it because it just goes faster, you know, rather than me sitting here doing this. I could do it, but I have not much time. Like I said, the rain's coming and all that good stuff. I want to get it done quicker and for video purposes. So, but that's all there is to it. You let it sit for a few seconds. Let me get my buffing pad and get these leaves out of the corner and falling in. Joys of living under trees. I would not take anything from my trees though. But that's all you gotta do, just let it sit on for a minute and then wipe it off. Brian, how much easier could that be, buddy? No trouble at all. You see it come right off. That's simple. And always go back and get into your cracks and stuff. You want to know the number one tip for detailing your car, making it look better and making it look professional? Always get the stuff out of your cracks. I have an old worn out toothbrush that I have saved that I'll go back and get certain areas around the car emblems and stuff Because you don't want to go pulling up somewhere and have that stuff sticking out of your, you know, in here. All white looking and stuff. Looks like you didn't care. Looks like, forgive my French, but it looks like you half-assed did your job. And if you're going to do it, take the time to do it right. But there you go, Brian. I mean, I've heard and seen other people talk about how complicated, how hard it was to get this off. I don't see anything hard with it at all. And even if you just used it, like I said, always go back and rub it, make sure there's nothing on it. But even if you just use your wax, always close it so you don't get the dried out wax. Give it a shake before you use it again, and just pop it back open. Squirt some on. Like I said, I could do this whole car in no time at all, by hand. And I may do it yet as I keep talking. A little runny, I'm gonna have to shake it up some more. Because all we're doing is just putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. That's all we're doing. It really is that simple. Yeah. And I don't worry about circular motions. I don't worry about straight and back. I prefer back and forth. For the simple reason is, if you haven't seen it in any of my other videos, for me, getting back and forth scratches out is a lot easier than getting circular scratches out. That's just what I have learned. That's my preference. That's what I choose. That's what I prefer. And then just keep going. I mean, this is actually kind of therapeutic. You can think about your day's problems. You can get your mind off of them. You can sing your favorite song in your head if you don't have radio going. You can think about how good you're making your car look. Think about what to do to it next. And the cool thing is, about when you do a panel this big, you get this half done. When you get this half done, this half is ready to come off. Like I said earlier, we are not trying to buff or polish or remove anything with the wax stage, because the wax has no abrasives in it, so we'll just be wasting time anyway. Let me set this over here. Always inspect your rag, make sure you don't have anything in it, because I went in for a lunch break and came back out and there was leaves and stuff on it, so you always inspect it. I mean, how much easier it can be than that, you know. Of course I could wipe it a little second longer, but look at that, how much easier can that be to take off? You've seen how quickly I just wiped that. Was it hard? So I don't know why people are complaining saying this wax is hard to get off, but it is not. I mean, holy moly, look at that shine. Got one spot I missed that I'm gonna have to get. I have many waxes in my building. I have Dyno Wax, I have Meguiar's, particularly Meguiar's Gold Class. That used to be my go-to favorite. The funny thing about Meguiar's Gold Class, when you put it on, you rephrase that, as you're putting it on, you cannot tell any difference. You're like, am I wasting my time? Is it doing anything? But once you get done and walk away for just a second, it's like, oh my God, look at that. This wax, the Best of Show wax, I can sit here and I can look at that and tell at what a difference that has made. Oh my goodness. I'll get you back here in just a second and show you. Hold on. I truly hope this comes through in camera. This is how it looks just after me polishing it. A huge, huge difference. But now look at it with wax on it. Holy moly. Like I said, this is my go-to wax. I know that when I put this on, I am going to get nothing but stellar results. It has never ever let me down. And like I said, I could use their spray-on wax in between regular waxings, and I can get 6 months easily to a year out of it, because I'm maintaining the wax. I'm not redoing it, I'm just maintaining in between. Now this is taking a beating because of the car cover that I have on it, but the choice is either to let it sit in front of the, over there next to the house, next to the brick wall, which is where we go in and out. So I don't want to have a car parked there that we're not using because it's in the way. I can put it out here on the pad and leave it uncovered, but then I have the tree, and let me show you. It has these little nuts that it drops. Bing, 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 bing all over it. And it has these little things. I don't know what they are, but they come out of the tree. And when they get wet, they dissolve. And it leaves a red spot on my car. If I think about it, when I put the car cover back on, and if I do it, I'll show you what it does. But it'll leave a little red spot on the car. It actually stains it. See what it does on my finger? So I have to at least cover it if I'm going to keep it out here. If I put it up next to the house, it's no big issue, just a little bit of dust. So I may just start parking it over there. The occasional bird crap on it. But with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and wax the rest of the car. I think I'm just going to do it by hand, show you how easily it really does go on and come off. I mean, you just saw it on this. How can you complain about that shine? Oh my goodness. But I'm going to go ahead and speed it up for you so you don't have to sit here and watch me in regular speed. And we'll be back with some finishing thoughts. I could do the whole car, but as you can see up here in the front, the sun is starting to creep in. So probably after I get this, I'll probably have to move the Tahoe, move it up there into the shade and finish it, because I never ever apply wax or anything in the sun. Only thing I ever put on in the sun is maybe a detail spray or tire shine. That's it. Well, there you go. Just completely waxed the whole top outside of the hood, the whole top and the side of the car, literally in less than 10 minutes. I decided to go ahead and do it by hand, because let's face it, most people don't have a random orbital sander or dual action sander or even a buffer for all that matter. So I wanted to show that it goes on and off that easy, just by hand. As far as the polishing and the compounding, you can do it by hand. It just takes more time and takes longer. But you can do it by hand. It's just a lot more labor intensive, because depending on how bad the scratches or swirls or halos you have, you know, you're going to have to work on one section. It could take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to do one section by hand, just to polish and compound. So that's why, hello butterfly. So that's why it's important, well not important, but that's why people who do this regularly have the DAs or the RAs, and the dual action or random orbital, stuff like that. That's why we have those, to make our lives a little easier and quicker. And I see a spot that I missed. But as you can see, when done and done correctly and using quality products, oh my goodness. Now I'm going to get on with the other side and the top of the hood, the front and the back. That's all I have left. No sense in you sitting here and watch me do the whole thing. I'll give you some after shots, but as you can see from this view right here, nothing much more to say. Alright, very, very, very important tip. You saw I was using this rag. This is one of my favorite rags. This is from Meguiar's. It is actually a buffing and polishing, waxing rag. Well, I don't know if you was paying attention, but I dropped it on the ground. Don't matter how long it was on the ground, anything. If what you're using touches the ground, it's gone. Get rid of it. Don't use it again until it's completely washed and hung out to dry. That's why you always keep a backup stack. Boyd's polishing towel, microfiber towels. That's why you keep a stack of these handy. You drop one, pick up another. Never ever reuse it once it hits the ground. Alright, we're just about finished, but I wanted to show you one last tip. As I say, it's always about the details. As you can tell, I've taken my license plate off, gotten behind there. Yes, nobody will ever see it, but I know it's there. But the difference between a good job and an excellent job is in the details. Your backup sensors, right? And covers for screws and whatnot. If you look in there, you can see dust and dirt and all kind of stuff. So take an old toothbrush and just go around that and get as much of that as you can out. And if you have any trouble, like if it's dry and don't want to come out, a good instant detailer, shake off the excess, go in there and get it that way. Now with this being an old soft bristle wore out toothbrush, it's not going to hurt anything to get a little rough with it. I mean, I don't want to sit here and try to wax the whole car with it, but just get in there with that. Some places won't matter. Some car shows don't care. Some people don't care. But if I'm going to sit here and spend hours on waxing a complete car, I want it to be complete. And just look at how much better that looks already. But that's just one more detail on how to get your car that new look, which is what we're all trying to keep and maintain. When you got your car new, it didn't have all that dirt on it, right? So why do you want to leave it on it? Let's say all you got to do is wet it. You're not trying to wash the whole car with it. You're just trying to get these nooks and crannies. Anywhere you have anything like that, there, up against the chrome trim here, in between the letters on the sides, where it says Camaro, your SS emblem over there, anywhere you have a little nook and cranny like this you can't get with a rag, just take an old toothbrush. Don't throw away your toothbrushes when you're done with them. Save them for stuff like this. It's perfect for it. What else are you going to use? A Q-tip? Q-tip could possibly scratch, or a wore out toothbrush won't. Alright, just got all finished. Looks good, don't it? I'll give you some more shots of that here in just a second. As you've seen, the Best of Show wax goes on really easy, comes off super easy, which today's waxes have to, otherwise nobody's going to want to use them. You know, everybody's after that roll off as soon as you put it on type of performance, and nobody's going to get it, but it's very close. But Best of Show is my go-to wax. I know it's going to work, I know it's going to shine, I know it's going to come off easy, and when it gets to where it don't, I'll use something else. Or until something comes out better, I'll use it all the time, you know, as my go-to. But this is my go-to. I still got a few more things to do, like I said, for the show. I'll turn you around. I still got to coat all my plastics. I still have to come up and take a wet rag or a toothbrush, go around all my windows, get all that dirt out. Still have to coat all the plastic and rubber trim around my windows. Under the hood and in the trunk's already been taken care of. But I still got to get you straightened up here. I still have to coat the diffuser real good too. And if you don't know what wax will do if you get it on black plastic, right there's a perfect example. I did that last time I waxed it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a toothbrush, some Dawn dishwashing liquid, and scrub that. That's the only thing I have found that will get rid of it unless you buy the stuff made for it. But here you go. Just look at that freaking shine. Now, like I said, there's a few small scratches that you will be very hard pressed to find. If I didn't point them out, you would not know where they're at. And there's a couple halos here and there that I need something with a little bit more abrasive material in it to get it off. But look at it. Wow. So with all that said, whew, I hope that you will get out there and enjoy your car like I do mine. This was actually fun. I even took care of the letters. I got me an old toothbrush and put some wax on it, got in there and polished in my letters. Because that's one of the things that'll stand out as a judge is walking up to the car. You know, they're looking at the car, they're going to see your tires, they're going to see the reflection of the paint, and then you can always tell the guy that does a wax out. His whole car will be nice and shiny, but it'll look kind of dull around his letters. He's the guy that doesn't take that extra step. But yeah, I got to do that. I mean, I did that. But get out there and enjoy your car. It's not hard. If you've let it go for a while, it's going to take a little bit more work to get it to this kind of level. Because like I said, if you don't have a random orbital or a dual action polisher, if you have to do it by hand or you choose to do it by hand, it's up to you. But you're going to have to work one panel more, because you just cannot spin your hand fast enough to do a car in the time that you can with a random orbital or dual action. You're just not going to be able to do it. So you're going to have to go over it a couple more times to get those halos and those scratches and stuff out, you know. You may have to start off with something a little bit more abrasive than I do, because I'm using the DA. So you might have to start with a more aggressive compound Whereas I can start with the polish. Does that make sense? Because you can't spin your hand fast enough. So you may have to start off with something a little bit more abrasive. But with that said, get you a good quality wax and then hit it with the spray wax in between when you wash it. And this is what you'll end up with. But until next time, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to give you the B-roll end footage of this, and we'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Get out there and enjoy your car.